Live from downtown Las Vegas, I'm Michael Artis. You are the Terrifics. You make BeTerrific special. Thanks so much for joining us. I've got Skip here with a 1981 DeLorean, and this is the Beatles tribute car show, and we brought a DeLorean out. Why not? This is car number 308?
808, actually.
808.
808, and they started at 500, so it makes it 308.
Okay.
When they started numbering them, when they got the VIN numbers.
By the way, 308 was also a good car. Tom Selleck drove that in Magnum.
That's true, yep. Yes, he did. But that was a Ferrari.
Yes, it was. I love this car, and I'll tell you why I love this car. I mean, like everybody who's gathered around it, it steals the show, right? It's because of the movie Back to the Future.
Yes.
But I have to say I would have loved the car anyway because I love the gull-wing doors, I love the idea of the stainless steel body, and I love the idea that this car was the future. What was it about this car for you? You've had it 31 years. What was it about this car for you that you had to have it?
Well, I was in the stainless steel business, and so when I went to bid jobs and everything in repair business, when you have a stainless steel car and you're in a stainless steel business, they remember you driving a DeLorean. Had nothing to do with the movie.
So, you know, at the time it was an expensive car,
Yes.
but for you, it was like an advertisement.
That is correct. That is correct. I use it for that purpose.
Did the IRS see it that way?
Oh yeah, not a problem at all. Wasn't anything. You can deduct what you need for advertising.
Now, if John DeLorean had only said he was in the steel business, they might have been able to work it out, something out. No.
There's a long story about John DeLorean. If you had time, I could tell you.
Yeah. I was making a joke in reference to one of the many things that brought down DeLorean motor cars, unfortunately. Again, beautiful. Now, do you know that they're remaking DeLorean motor cars? There's somebody who bought the license.
I know Stephen Wynn personally.
Yeah.
Not the Stephen Wynn here in Vegas, but same name. Nice guy. He's in Houston, Texas. And because Obama signed that bill that small manufacturers could remanufacture cars, he's building a 2017 model.
Yes, and they're also selling some of these as well using either leftover parts or in most cases they're refabricating parts.
Yes, anything he doesn't have left over. Stephen bought everything that was left at the factory. They were building 25,000 cars. They made 10,000, so there was about 15,000 cars left. And over the years, he sold a lot of the parts, but he's remanufacturing stuff that he needs. But he will take a car, he'll buy a donor car, strip it down to the bare frame, and build you a brand new car and give you a 3-year warranty on it.
120,000, something like that?
Something like that, yes.
Now, they were expensive when they came out. They were priced around the same price as a 944, a 928, which at the time was the most expensive Porsche available because they thought that was going to replace the 911. So you had to make a decision, and this was not nearly as fast, nor did it handle as well.
That's correct. This is a model DMC-12, as you've heard. John DeLorean wanted to sell it for $12,000. That was his goal. He couldn't do it, but that's why they named it. The model is a DMC-12.
I did not know that. Now, this car actually came from DeLorean Motor Cars after they went out of business. Is that correct?
Yes, this was a company car. This was given to William Charles, who was the service manager. And then when they went bankrupt, it was sold to Chestnut Leasing. I bought it from the guy that bought it from them.
What do you think of the car? How is it to drive? Do you still get a kick out of it 31 years later?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I drove it to Houston, Texas, to Stephen Wynn's DeLorean manufacturer. At 90 miles an hour in Texas, you can go 85 legally. I went 90.
You're a lawbreaker.
Yeah, 5 miles an hour.
All right.
It got 27 miles a gallon.
You just said you went 90. You went over 88?
Oh, absolutely.
What year did you go to?
Well, we went back just a little.
Just a little. And you had fun driving it at night?
Yes, absolutely.
How often do you drive the car?
Once, twice a week.
Wow, that's impressive. How many miles?
It's got 50,000 on it now.
Very cool. Now, we're friends with Bill and Patrick Shea. I don't know if you've heard of those guys, but they have one of the only 3 DeLoreans from the movie Back to the Future, from the film. They have it.
Peterson. It's at Peterson.
2 of them. One is in Peterson. The other one's in Universal's back lot. Universal owns both of those cars. The only one in private hands is Bill and Patrick Shea. They're in Massachusetts somewhere, and they have one from the 3rd movie.
Yes, that was the one that wasn't a DeLorean.
Right, it's a Volkswagen.
It's a Volkswagen.
It should be
It's
here.
a dune buggy. If you ever watch the movie, you can watch it bounce across the dirt, and
It's
that's
a
dune
DeLorean
buggy.
body on a dune bucky because they needed to go in the 1800s.
These wouldn't do it.
No, they definitely would. So you've changed the wheels, is that correct? You've got some knockoffs.
Yes, I've had them custom made for the car. When you go to an event, like I went to an event in Dayton, Ohio 2 years ago, we had 158 cars there actually, and mine's the only one in the world that has knockoff wire wheels.
Very cool. Everything but the radio is factory, is that correct?
That is correct. Everything is original. The carpeting is all original. The seats, everything is original.
The only thing that also isn't original, other than that, is of course the flux
So
capacitor.
that's correct.
You got to put one in a
You
DeLorean.
have to have one in DeLorean. You know, that's why I have it there.
This has the Volvo engine.
No, they all have a Renault. It's a
Renault.
PRV. It's called a Peugeot Renault Volvo compilation. There are three. It's actually a Volvo motor. It's got a Renault transaxle, but it's a Volvo. All of them. You buy parts for inside, it's a Volvo.
Now, if they had survived, do you think the car would have gotten better and would have been a high-performance vehicle and had a great engine?
Yes, he already had in the works a twin-turbo motor for it. There was a company that had already had them built. There was several of them around.
Isn't that what Win is doing? He's putting twin turbos in them?
No, he's got a supercharger for it.
Okay.
A regular
still works.
supercharger.
Yeah.
But he also puts the camshafts. These motors were built for the Renault rally car back in the 70s. And they decammed them to make them pass California and United States smog.
Well, they're pretty cool, and I think you could probably even stuff a V8 in there. Hey, Skip, I'm Michael. That's the DeLorean. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with a whole lot more right after this. Allison is eyeing a Volkswagen drag racer. I told you, a Volkswagen drag racer. You did hear me correctly. At BeTerrific TV on all social media. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us. You are the Terrifics. You make BeTerrific special.